Put it this way, Sentomaru is worrying about Kizaru and worrying about Rob Lucci. And these are two people that fought Luffy. Meanwhile, Ashuradoji ain't even touching anybody of top tier.
Sentomaru also got blitzed by Lucci too, though.
Yeah, but that's Lucci.
I'm just saying he's blitzable too.
Does Sentomaru make a calamity list? Like, for example, so we know Jack, he's part of the calamities with Albert, Queen, and then Jack. To me, Sentomaru, he doesn't reach becoming level of the calamity. He's Tobirobo. Yeah.
And that's like Jack literally beat that whole army. With the amount of army he had, they weren't beating the Sulongs. Yeah, but Jack did.
It was basically Jack against all the Sulongs, and he was winning.
I can't go that far. He had an army. He had numbers even.
No, but like compared to what he was facing, it was basically
to Lord's point. If two Sulong Dukes came at Sentomaru, he's getting packed. Another two from S King: Jack versus Sentomaru and Black Maria versus Stussy. I'm gonna go Jack and I'm gonna go Stussy.
I'm thinking Jack as well. And
I low-key ain't mad at a Sentomaru pick though. I ain't gonna lie.
I was gonna pick Sentomaru because I can't picture Jack defending against Kizaru. Like any of the attacks.
Oh, so wait, it's
I saw Jack get bodied by pink hair dude, fat.
Sure.
Ashuradoji.
Ashuradoji.
But he took that though. He got blitzed, but he took it though.
But he still got. I don't think Sentomaru getting blitzed like that. But you know what I'm saying?
But Ashuradoji's around 1 billion.
I do not.
Diamond level person.
Who cares?
Is Sentomaru around that level?
Bruh, I do not think that.
Maybe.
I don't think Sentomaru getting speed blitzed by Ashuradoji like that.
He has a more impressive
it's
blocking
Kizaru.
speed feat.
Like Kizaru was extremely much faster and much stronger than Ashuradoji.
I mean, that's fair. He got trained by an admiral, so like.
But people get caught in One Piece. It happens.
Yeah.
But I will say.
It's Ashuradoji, though.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man. It took Sulong Minks to take him out.
But also, too, remember, the Beast Pirates, especially, like, Kaido and all his calamities, they all follow the same thing.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Jack was actually boxing. Like, Jack was actually fighting him.
No, yeah. But I'm thinking they all think no attack can kind of, like, hurt them. They all kind of believe that there's these powerhouses, durable things. Like, yo, I can't pass. And remember, Jack also wanted to be like all the other ones. He looked up to, especially Kaido, but Albert and Queen, he wanted to be like them. And they were all rant, like, yo, we're undamageable. So Jack kind of was trying to be like that. So he let that whole thing, letting himself get hit. He's definitely got speed blitz. Don't get me wrong. He definitely got speed blitz. But it was also like
they were actively
they're very
fighting,
nonchalant with their blocking.
Put it this way, Sentomaru is worrying about Kizaru and worrying about Rob Lucci. And these are two people that fought Luffy. Meanwhile, Ashuradoji ain't even touching anybody of top tier.
Sentomaru also got blitzed by Lucci too, though.
Yeah, but that's Lucci.
I'm just saying he's blitzable too. Like what I'm saying is like in One Piece you can get blitzed. It can happen.
But you can't just say that's he's speed blitzable. Yeah, but that's by Lucci, who's mad fast. Like way faster than a lot of people in the show.
He did it in awakening mode. Like Rob Lucci didn't bleach him when he was regular.
Ashuradoji just got off eating rice for like 5 years. Also, he laying down having people carry him, dog.
Also, I will say
out of shape.
Also, I will say
out of shape.
Technically, from Sentomaru's words, he didn't even get speed blitz. He says, "I blocked it. It just somehow still got through and hit me."
What, Lucci?
Yeah, he says, he's like, I blocked it, but just some reason it still got in.
Yeah, he barely blocked it.
That's cool.
No, he said he barely blocked it, though.
Stupid me, I did it.
But he did block Kizaru. Did block Kizaru. You're not going to say he didn't. See, this is the thing about people, right? This is the thing about people. People be like, yo, Sanji should get credit because he blocked Kizaru's light beam. Yeah. And then I've had Sebastian go, yo, Kizaru's light beam is just as strong as Frankie's light beam or whatever. So Sanji should get the credit for that light beam kick, right?
Yeah.
He defended it. But Sentomaru gets no credit for actually getting kicked by Kizaru.
Okay.
Like he actually got kicked.
We don't have to learn
like, yo, when are we gonna start giving people credit the same way other people give credit?
Okay, replace Jack and Sentomaru in their respective situations, right? If they're on Zou, Sentomaru's on Zou, can he replicate Jack's feats on Zou? Fighting for the 5 days against interchangeable Dukes.
Absolutely. You do know that Jack ended up poisoning the minks.
Because it took 5 days.
Hold on. Jack also had his own army with him to fight them.
Yeah,
wasn't just Jack.
I know.
Yeah, and then the thing was, he wasn't fighting both of them at the same time.
But
he was interchanging.
But Jack had fodder. They had Zou, like...
Musketeers.
But yeah.
What I'm saying is that the Jack being at the level he was at wasn't able to complete the task, even with help. Meanwhile, Sentomaru, with the same amount of help, would have just bodied them.
Would he? I don't know that he would.
No,
I don't have Sentomaru beating the Dukes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
I don't know.
And it took Sulong versions of them to actually defeat Jack.
Yeah.
And also, too, it was like, for the Dukes themselves, that was just Jack. He was fighting one, and then while the other one would switch out. That's like pretty much you're a boxer, and you have not sparring partners, but I'm using this as reference, and you keep switching out sparring partners while you stay in the ring fighting them. And then Jack was so strong that they thought he was Kaido's right-hand man. Like, that's what the Dukes thought.
Like, you think what Sentomaru has is enough to put
really know about the
Jack down?
Yes, absolutely.
That's why I go half and half with
He's
that.
not Honda, man.
So hold on. So do you think Sentomaru has lower attack power than Ashura Doji?
Yeah.
Wait, who has lower attack power?
Yeah.
Wait, who has lower attack power?
Yeah.
Who has higher between Ashura Doji and Sentomaru?
But that's different. One's a blade cuts and one's doing...
It don't even matter. I'm sorry. I just wholeheartedly disagree with that statement. There's absolutely no way Sentomaru, who's literally fighting Kizaru, it has lower output power than Ashura Doji. Like, Ashura Doji would get completely dominated by Kizaru.
I mean,
we talk about the mental nerf of Kizaru all the time on this channel. This is Sentomaru that he's fighting.
This is
He's not actively, like, all out trying to take Sentomaru out.
All right,
he just isn't.
100% agree. But I've also heard you say mid-conversation while hollering at Lawrence that when Garp hits, it's still Garp.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit here and have you tell me.
Garp's the top of the world.
No, I'm not gonna have you sit here and tell me that a mental nerf is enough when an admiral is still an admiral.
Okay. And I'm saying I believe that if they had to fight an admiral, I have more confidence in the Dukes to get some work in than Sentomaru.
Hold on, but you can't just say because an admiral is mentally nerfed that just a mentally nerfed admiral is still comparable to somebody like Ashura Doji.
I didn't say they're comparable.
But you're using that as like his mental nerf lowers his strength. Therefore, I can't say he's actually admiral level. But even an admiral at admiral level being lesser than that is still higher, much higher than Ashura Doji. Much, much higher. So you can't even say that.
I think the issue is you see Sentomaru and Kizaru clashing and having that situation, and you're like upping the Sentomaru can now potentially box with an admiral. I don't think that's not the case.
No. I'm saying even if he can't box with an admiral, he was able to defend against a mentally nerfed admiral, which is still way stronger than Ashura Doji, dog.
But are you adding him fighting Kaido with his scabbards?
Wait, when Ashura Doji damaged Kaido?
Yeah, remember he was 1-4.
Bro,
I mean, a lot of people damaged.
Like,
no, but I get you. But
what?
But the thing is, my point is like the haki thing. Like to us, who are these strongest scabbards? We always, when I go off that, we always go off the people who, when we add Kinemon on there, it was Denjiro, Ashura Doji, and Dogstorm, and Kinemon.
Scabbards were there, yes.
Like, Kaido started bleeding when they did attack.
Of course.
It's not Odin level. They didn't have conquerors. Like, it was shallow. But Kaido recognized how strong these scabbards were. Even they're not on his level, but
I'm telling you right now, that attack was not stronger than Kizaru's kick against Sentomaru. I saw Kizaru blocking against Luffy in Gear's Snake Man.
He did?
This is Ashura Doji. Meanwhile, he's not the strongest scabbard, guys.
He up there?
Yeah, he is up there.
He's at least like top 5.
Because
there's 9 of them.
But only people who be stronger than him is Denjiro, and that's questionable, and Dogstorm and Cat, and that's still questionable. Like, Ashura Doji, remember, Ashura Doji's a person
maybe I don't understand.
Remember, Ashura Doji was stronger than all the other scabbards.
He was the one that Odin beat to get Curry. That was his claim to.
And he was young when that happened.
And he's the first one to die.
And he.
All right. He sacrificed himself.
So I will say also too. Remember, Kaido also scouted the Ashura Doji.
Yeah, he remembered and said he was strong and wanted to join his crew.
So I'm gonna ask a question, and it may not be a fair question.
Bro. If you're gonna say what I think you're gonna say, it's not a fair question.
Yeah, it may not be a fair question.
Wait, what are you about to say?
It's about to be unfair.
It may not be fair. All right,
bro.
Does Sentomaru make a calamity list. Like, for example, so we know Jack, he's part of the calamities with Albert, Queen, and then Jack. To me, Sentomaru, he doesn't reach becoming level of calamity. He's Toby Robo. Yeah.
He's specifically designed to guard the most famous scientist of the second world.
That doesn't mean anything, bro.
It does mean a lot. Also, he was trained under an admiral. Jack is not being trained by anybody.
That I'm sorry, Larry. Put it this way: if the Straw Hats don't show up, Lucci by himself was able to handle the Sentomaru guarding of Vegapunk. Like, if that's all it takes,
this is. But
you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean anything. But you're in charge of this.
Lucci is also part of Cypher Pole Zero. He's literally the leader of it. Potentially, probably a celestial dragon coming forth in the new age if he becomes a holy knight somehow, some way. Like, this guy was able to do what he was able to do because Lucci, unfortunately, because you don't think he's like that, is actually like that. Lucci can compete with Queen and most likely beat Queen.
Cool. But hold on.
But this is what I'm talking about. And then he goes to fight who? Zoro throughout that arc, and he goes to fight Luffy in that arc.
That's all fine. And he was light work for Sentomaru. Light work.
And who does Jack face in his arcs?
The Dukes.
Right. Are they top
The Dukes have more hype than Sentomaru.
But
they do.
You're also forgetting Denjiro was fighting Zolo. Yes, yeah. Zolo even recognized, who is this guy? Like, Zolo recognized Denjiro was actually relatively strong. Like, Zolo couldn't just bypass him at that moment. I'm not saying Zolo couldn't beat him, but Zolo recognized his strength. That's what I'm saying. Like, the scabbards are around Jack level. Yeah. No, those specific, not all of them. Denjiro, Ashura Doji, and Dogstorm, they're around that level.
No, I agree with that.
But also, too, like, remember, like, that they brought up before, because I feel like Odin probably trumps all these people. At the time, Ashura Doji was an Odin opponent, where Odin, and then they clashed, where Odin even recognized Ashura Doji's strength. And yes, it was a young Odin, but if we go relating on to strength-wise, aside from probably, I don't know about the whole Kizaru thing in his prime, because it's a Kizaru versus Odin in his prime, I don't know about that. But I don't believe Rob Lucci beats Odin in his prime. You know?
That wasn't prime Odin, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even that young, youthful Odin, he probably not beating either. So, I don't know. We don't got to linger on this. These are two very not...
I just think it's disrespectful. Y'all saying Ashura Doji is comparable to a mentally nerfed Kizaru, who's an OG admiral.
It's not that he's comparable.
It's crazy.
It's not that he's comparable. It's more so Sentomaru got to show us more than he's shown us.
To me, I believe Ashura Doji and Sentomaru are relatively close in strength.
To me, he's a Toby Robo level person.
Yeah.
If you want, put this way, I would be willing to have this conversation about who's who. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you want to tell me who's who would lose to Sentomaru, I'll be like, cool. I'm not mad at that. Like, that's where you at with it. But Jack is a level above that to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just, hey, man, I would need to have seen a little bit better from him. And not versus his friend. You get what I'm saying? Not versus a dude who looks at him like a son.
Because again, it's the same. It's similar to with Garp and Aokiji, or something like. We know they're strong, but like they're clearly not. Like, for instance, Garp. We didn't see Garp do Galaxy Impact on Aokiji, but he did another powerful attack on another Blackbeard pirate number. The only name attack that Garp did on Aokiji is Blue Mo or whatever. Garp was clearly
he made that up.
Yo, Larry, hold on, Larry. You think Kaido could send Sentomaru to Zou and like Zou folded?
You
like,
forget,
that's not happening.
Hold on. So you keep like saying this, but like Jack didn't go there by himself.
I understand that.
Jack went
I'm saying
there.
even with Jack's forces.
Absolutely. Jack himself went there.
Raizo Domoro's super safe. You know what I'm saying? He's as safe as he can be.
Okay, so again, Jack, one, didn't verse both of them at the same time. He versed them individually, night and day. Right? 2, he had a gas that weakened their strength considerably. And then 3, he had an entire army. If Sentomaru went out there and did that against them, he would have beat them.
I don't think he survives the 5 days to get to the gas.
I'm saying he doesn't need 5 days because he doesn't need to have that elongated battle. He could just beat them.
And I don't think anybody else at this table believes that. Like, I don't...
Meanwhile, these guys are not in Sulong either.
I know.
And remember, Jack needed to be in his full Zoan form in order to even compete with weakened, like, Sulong.
No, I can't say that. He didn't need to be in there.
No, also, too, remember, on the rooftop, Jack fought
them in Sulong together.
And it wasn't just...
No, it wasn't just them together. He fought them with Paddle Sparrow. What is this?
He fought them with his gifter, whatever people behind him, and it was the 2 Sulong Dukes and the other Sulong Musketeer army.
And Paddle Sparrow was there too. Paddle Sparrow was fighting.
No. Before that. This is before that. This is when the scabbards were fighting Kaido, right? It was around that time, and then they all. Almost in a sense, kind of like jumped, like a bunch of the Minks jumped Jack in a way.
In Sulong form.
In Sulong form.
There was a whole army with Sulong.
Jack was holding his own for a little bit, but he was about to pass.
Jack, within whatever army he had,
he took out everybody else that wanted the Dukes.
Yeah. And then he fights the Dukes. Again, well, they're both Sulong fighting Jack.
Yeah.
And Kaido's watching, though. Kaido did not interfere in that fight.
That's the goofiest part of the whole arc to me.
Kaido's just watching.
Like, the scabbards are watching this, and Kaido is watching this in dragon form. And they're just like, damn.
And that's like Jack literally beat that whole army. With the amount of army he had, they weren't beating the Sulongs.
Yeah,
but Jack did.
It was basically Jack against all the Sulongs, and he was winning.
I can't go that far. He had an army. He had numbers even.
But like compared to what he was facing, it was basically
to Lord's point. If 2 Sulong Dukes came at Sentomaru, he's getting packed.
Yeah,
like
I don't think
quicker than Jack was getting packed.
Yeah, I don't see him getting. I don't think. Do you think Sentomaru was beating that Sulong army?
No.
I don't really. I mean, he could, but I don't think so either.
Yo, maybe we sleep on Sentomaru,
man, we
bro.
could be. We could be. I don't know, but like,
from the guy, bro.
Nah, I haven't seen.
My man was bullying pre-time skip Luffy. He looked strong, and then next time I saw him, he wasn't looking all that strong, dog.
Yeah, he wasn't looking strong because he fought an admiral.
Nah, it's not the admiral. It's not the admiral, bro. It's not the admiral.
Who else was bodying him like that?
Lucci, bro. Like Lucci bodied him.
But Lucci, bro, it's because y'all not giving Lucci enough credit. Like, y'all acting like Lucci a bum.
I'm not acting like Lucci a bum.
You acting like Lucci's a bum.
Yeah, but you're acting like Lucci was not really in his strongest form.
Like, he's an awakened zone.
And Sentomaru still blocked it.
But how do you compare Sulong to a awakened zone?
That I have no idea.
I would say an awakened zone is stronger than a Sulong.
Depends on the awakened.
Yeah, it depends on
the Mink.
Yeah, it depends on the person in the building.
All right, so tell me what Zoan awakening is not going harder than a Sulong that we've seen so far.
You think
literally?
You think Kaku would beat Dogstorm?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it's fair. No, it's fair. You can say that. It's fair to say that. I'm not saying I agree with it. I don't know, but it's fair to say it. It could be either or to me.
You know why?
I can cheat and just
You know why the Sulongs go so hard for Sebastian? I'm gonna tell you straight up. It's because Beppo went Sulong and basically smacked the hell out of Blackbeard and damaged him, and all of a sudden now Sulong go harder than the Guru for some reason.
That's what it is, bro.
That's what I'm saying to realize. That's what it is. And now he's like, nah, yo, Sulongs go mad hard because he hit Blackbeard, caught him off guard, and he fell to the floor. And I'm partially trolling, but I'm partially for real.
Listen, man. I got Jack over Sentomaru, man. I do.
So I don't even know so it was Kizao and Stussy versus
no. What
was it?
Stussy versus Black Maria?
Yeah, I got Stussy in that.
I'm gonna get Stussy.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Stussy.
No, those are two.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
All right, another 5 from